Good food last night.
That's good food.
Helps to have.
Yeah, where were you last
You
night?
still got your shorts on?
For me?
Yeah, of course you do.
Were there last night?
We were at the fire hall. Free meal.
Ready to start.
Oh, I didn't want to make a quorum.
What's the matter?
Call to order for the City of Cannon Falls City Council meeting for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. If I could get a roll call, please.
Diane Johnson.
Here.
Zimmerman.
Here.
Chad Johnson.
Here.
Jepson.
Here.
Nobach.
Here.
Cronenberger.
Here.
Montgomery.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before I ask for the approval of tonight's agenda, I do want consent agenda item C. The date has been changed, so that will be amended. June 14th is Flag Day. That is the day that they are now asking for. So just put that in your notes if you want to. But with that said, if I could get a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So moved.
I got the motion from Jep. I got a second from Lisa. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it is approved. Public input. Public input is intended to afford the public an opportunity to address concerns to the City Council. The public input will be no longer than 30 minutes in total length, and each speaker will have no more than 3 minutes to speak. Speakers may address topics relevant to the governance of the city. Speakers must sign up in advance and must provide their name, address, and the topic they intend to address. Comments must be on topic, respectful, pertinent to city business, and adhere to the applicable data privacy rules. Any speaker that violates these rules will be asked to sit down. If the speaker refuses to comply, they may be removed from the meeting. Speakers shall not address topics that are the subject of a public hearing. All such comments shall be made at the public hearing. The City Council will not generally act on issues raised by the public input, but may choose to schedule consideration of the item on a future agenda. Tim Deemer, speaking tonight.
Future agenda, I hope so. I was gonna maybe start out by saying I'm hoping to be back here often or every time, kind of just FYI, for your information, I'm planning 6 minutes a month to speak to the public and to all your distinguished, trying to talk, to the mayor and council and staff and the public. So come on, this booklet they giving out, it's free, you don't check, just,
Keep that until after the meeting, but use it for your resource and you can show it to me after the meeting.
I'm not gonna show anybody, you can go get it yourself at the library, it's just a health, and it's, no, I don't do so good just improv, just off the top of my head, so I'm reading off of here.
Gotcha.
There's 7 chapters, I believe, or 6. The last part is just a quiz, kind of whatever it's called. But the part about it's titled Equality. It's in this chapter 5, part 5, Healthy Environments. So equality, as we all know, I love how they word stuff, saying we may look different. We do look different from one another. And we're all presumably, or most likely the same on the inside. We're all human beings is the point I wanted to make there. We're all human. And everyone deserves a certain amount of humanity, to be treated with dignity, respect, and most importantly, I think, the word honesty, it's the same, I think it's similar to the meaning of truth, what is true, honest, and then to be, some city officials claim to be always, they use the word always. I got less than a minute left.
Yeah.
So when they say always, that's exactly what it means, always. They don't try to do the right thing. They don't try to be the best, to be better. I think we all agree. I'll be the first one to admit I can do better. We all can. But when a city official prints on their business card, they hand out to whomever, they always, and to one other official said it brought the word perfection, but I get to always do the right thing. Just slip in a word. We try to always do the right thing. And integrity, knowledge, and you know the rest of this story. I'll be back.
All right. Thank you, Tim. That gets us to the consent agenda tonight. Consent agenda items may be adopted under one motion as presented or may be removed for discussion and resolution as council business. Tonight we've got item A, the just and correct claims for the accounting period that ended on February 25th, 2026. Item B, meeting minutes, February 17th, 2026, City Council. And item C, approve the gambling premises permit application for the Nelson Schofield Post 4452 with the change to the date of June 14th, Flag Day. Anything that the council would like to remove? Seeing none, I would seek a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
So moved.
Got a motion from Diane?
Second.
I'm going to give it to Lisa. There was a race on that one. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, carries. If anybody wants to speak about the new hire for the chamber?
Yeah, I do have a update on that. So Carrie Lorenzen is the new chamber director. She started last week, Monday. And we got to meet her. She and Andy Altoff came over, went through a space at City Hall. So I want to kind of give an update on where that stands. So the chamber leases the space downtown. They do have a monthly cost to that. In our conversations, prior to even the director position being filled, we talked about going through, inviting them to look at our space here at City Hall, see if that was something of interest. And we met as staff kind of in advance of Carrie coming through to visit and determined that the best space that we would have available for this would be the area that we currently use for elections. Carrie is working on a part-time basis, so we would have the ability to structure within kind of the schedule and organization so that it wouldn't conflict ever with the election days, and we'd still be able to use that room. It is ample space for office, even them to have like chamber meetings or committee meetings that they could host there. And part of that conversation too, since we do have a contribution that the city does make to the chamber, I think this would, we'd look at this as potentially offering that at a $0 rent for using that space. It's not used but 3 times a year for the city's purposes, but we would look at charging to cover some utility costs with that, exploring what that amount could be relative to the square footage, internet if that's needed by them for services, phone, anything that is a direct expense of systems that they're utilizing within our building. We've agreed that would be, we'd calculate that and include that into the agreement. I think there's some additional benefits too if we did that. Just having another person in the building is always helpful, and when we're pretty low on or low number of staff, when people want to take a lunch break or we have somebody out on vacation, just to have an additional person to be able to kind of cover for us and handle customers as they come in is always beneficial, even if they're not answering their question, but they at least can get the message passed on. So I think there's a lot of great opportunities that come with that. I talked about very early on when I started, I went, the chamber had their annual meeting in January, about a month after I started, and I was asked to be the speaker, and my kind of theme of my message at that meeting was, working on collaboration, especially in a small rural community like ours. A lot of things that really happen and get done happen because you're collaborating and working together with partners, and having that proximity to the chamber director, having her being in the building with us is really going to open those doors for those opportunities, and we can have some, I think, better, quicker conversations to kind of take advantage of opportunities when they exist. So, certainly more to come on that. They wouldn't be looking to move until April anyways, so we do have some time to work through some additional conversations about that lease agreement and what, specifically is going to take place there.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Anybody want to talk library board?
I got it. I got two updates. One, we had Commissioner Anderson here, indicating that future budget might be tough, I guess, foreshadowing a meeting or two ago, and we were informed, library directors in Goodhue County were informed, commissioners are considering 10% reduction in financial support, 2027 fiscal year, so they're thinking to drop anywhere between $12,000 and $15,000, so that's just so we know, like, that's a real thing that could happen. They got to balance their budget. And then Nicole had wanted me to say tonight, Cindy Molinar is retiring and her last day is on March 23rd, and there's going to be an open house at the library in the meeting room from 3:30 to 5 p.m. that day.
All right. We can go around the horn. Jed.
Anything tonight? Thank you.
All right. Izzy. Nothing. Chief.
We're almost out of winter weather. Just a reminder that parking restrictions run through March, but we do get that occasional storm in April as well. Hopefully we won't be seeing any in the short distance with our temperatures getting up above 40s. But we just want to remind people when it does snow, please get your vehicles off the roadway, especially this time of year. It tends to be wet and heavy. And Public Works likes to usually get the roadways clear so that if it does get cold, we don't get ruts frozen on the roadway. That's all I got.
Thanks, Chief. I had people ask right away. They're like, hey, it's March. Doesn't that end? I'm like, end of the month. Got to wait till the end. Sarah. John?
I got a couple things. I just wanted to give an update. We have been receiving applications for the payroll technician position in administration that will close on March 11th. And we definitely have qualified candidates that we will be interviewing at this stage in the application process, but the period's still open, so people are welcome to continue to apply. Our steering committee for comp plan will have our first meeting tomorrow at 6:30 right here in the council chambers. So we do have about 10 to 12 folks that are around the community that we've invited to participate, and I think we actually, almost everybody that we had our first invite to has been able to commit to this. The steering committee's portion is really to help guide the focus areas that we want to ensure that we establish, and that they can help us to invite and get those folks into the room. So, whether it's going to be on housing or employers, recreation, the parks and trails type stuff, like getting those things together, those groups together to have those deeper conversations is really kind of the help of the focus steering committee right now. So if you're wondering like, why am I not in part of this? Like, no, they're a little more grunt work than it is about the actual plans and ideas and things that we're going to be working on. But really pleased with how that's shaping out and excited to start that process. The Cannon Valley Trail, the bylaw and agreement update group, we met last week to go over some of the final or recent changes from the major changes that they had. Pretty close to having that completed to get that to the approval, so likely seeing that coming in the next couple months. The county attorney was going to review it, and then there was one of the items that we talked about that was a little bit different was just how do we address the capital needs, because they do have a number of projects that they have capital related. A lot of them are grant funded, probably mostly 70% of the major expenses that they have, at least in the immediate ones, are covered by grants. But how do we kind of make sure that there's equity built into and a process built into that remaining portion for the agreement with the joint powers? So in the conversation, the funding structure is a percentage base. I believe I'm gonna get the specific numbers wrong, but it is most of it's funded by the county, then a larger portion by the city of Red Wing, and then we have the smallest portion in terms of that percentage, and we're looking at keeping that percentage the same. It was what it was when it was established 40 years ago. And then just lastly, the meeting last night at the fire department with our townships. I know Diane and Lisa were able to attend. I thought that went really well. Great turnout from the township folks, and they kind of get a little bit more perspective on things happening at the fire, ambulance, and even the county's EMS director was able to join us. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, John. Laura? I'm good. Chris?
Nothing.
Ryan?
Nothing.
Diane?
I'm just gonna echo what John said about, thanks to Bryce and Tim for putting that together and for a great presentation and an incredibly good meal.
It's always, that's always helpful when you get the meal right. Lisa?
And desserts.
Yeah. there you go.
I'm good.
Chad?
I just have notes that the Trail Board met on February 26th. They're coming out with a book. They got a grant for phase 2 because the trail is celebrating 40 years. We had some conversations about getting ahead in case homeless and things like that are an issue this year. Just kind of more of discussion based. And they're talking and looking into doing some research on some of the bridges out there. The bridges are getting wore down, and they might want to just replace them with a concrete culvert. So that's just where that's at.
All right.
That's it.
I just want to say a quick thing. We do still have an opening for the Planning and Zoning Commission. So to the council members, if you have a colleague, a friend, somebody that you think would be interested, send them to City Hall to fill out the paperwork with Sarah or Ellen at the front desk. And by the next meeting, I would like to have, so that it's, make an appointment, and then to get your approval so that we can have that slot filled. So,
I'll
now is the time.
piggyback the Cable Commission too. I
we
think there's
still-
an open on that.
All right, if people, and that goes to the citizens too, if people are interested, come fill that out, and we will try to fill that when we have applicants. All right? Hearing nothing else, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion from Lisa,
Second.
second from Chad. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.